They called me the cleaning lady, the one who disappeared into storage rooms, the one they joked about at their fancy meetings. But what they didn't know was that every night, while they slept in their comfortable homes, I was building something they could never imagine. This is my story. The story of how invisible hands can create empires in the dark. If you've ever been underestimated, this story is for you. Subscribe and hit that bell because women like us don't stay invisible forever. I was 37 when I became a ghost. Not dead, just invisible. Every morning at 6 a.m., I'd drop my daughter Sophia at my mother's house, kiss her forehead, and promise her, "Mommy will make things better." She was 6. She believed me. I wasn't sure I believed myself anymore. I worked at Hartman and Associates, a mid-sized marketing firm downtown. Sleek glass building. Expensive coffee machines. People in tailored suits discussing synergy and brand narratives. And then there was me, Maria Delgado, administrative assistant, the woman who restocked the printer paper, who scheduled meetings, who smiled when they needed something and vanished when they didn't. My desk was in the corner, near the supply closet, where the fluorescent light flickered. They never learned my name. Not really. To Richard, the senior director, I was "Hey you." To Stephanie, the marketing lead, I was the office girl. To the interns fresh out of college, I was ... nothing. But I watched them. I listened. And that's where it started. What they didn't know was that I was learning. Every dismissive meeting. Every overlooked idea. Every moment they treated me like furniture. I was taking notes. It happened on a Tuesday. The conference room was packed. Richard stood at the head of the table, presenting the new campaign for our biggest client, a luxury skincare brand targeting modern Latinas. I was there to refill the water pitcher. As I poured, I heard him say, "We need authenticity. Real voices. Women who actually represent the market." And without thinking, I spoke. Maybe you should interview actual Latina mothers. Not just models. Real women balancing work and family. That's the story. The room went silent. Then ... laughter. Not loud. Not cruel, worse, polite, dismissive. The kind that says, "Oh, how cute. She thinks she has ideas." Stephanie smirked. "Thanks, Maria." Well, keep that in mind. Richard didn't even look at me. Let's stay focused, people. I finished pouring the water, set down the pitcher, left the room. My hands were shaking, but inside, something ignited. A quiet, burning rage. They laughed at my voice. So I decided to build something they couldn't ignore. That night, after Sophia fell asleep, I sat at our tiny kitchen table. Our apartment was small, 1 bedroom, peeling paint, a window that overlooked a parking lot, but it was ours. I opened my laptop, a secondhand Dell I'd bought at a pawn shop, and I started researching. Social media marketing, branding, content creation, platforms I'd heard the executives talk about but never explored myself. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, authentic voices. Richard had said, "Fine. I'd give the world an authentic voice. Mine." I created an account. No face, just a name. At Lamadrefort, the strong mother. My first post was simple. They treat you like you're invisible at work, like your ideas don't matter. But you're building an empire they'll never see coming. This is for every woman who's been underestimated. I posted it at 11:47 p.m. By morning it had 23 likes. 23 strangers who understood. That's when I realized I wasn't alone. There were thousands of us. Women who'd been ignored, dismissed, erased. And we were ready to rise. For the next 3 months, I lived 2 lives. By day, Maria the assistant. The woman who fetched coffee, fixed printer jams, and nodded politely while they talked over me. By night, l'âme forte. The voice building a movement. Every evening after Sophia went to bed, I worked. I filmed short videos on my phone. Tips for working mothers. Stories of survival. Affordable business ideas. How to start a side hustle with no money. My face was never shown. Just my hands, my voice, my truth. The account grew. 500 followers. 2,000 followers. 10,000 followers. Messages poured in. I thought I was the only one who felt this way. Thank you for speaking what I couldn't say. You saved me from quitting on myself. But at work, nothing changed. Richard still didn't know my name. Stephanie still dismissed me. The interns still looked through me, and I smiled, because they had no idea. While they slept in their privilege, I was building an empire in the shadows. And soon, the shadows would devour the light. One afternoon, I overheard Stephanie in the break room. She was on her phone, panicking. The client hates the campaign. They said it feels inauthentic. We're going to lose the account. I stirred my coffee, said nothing. But that night I posted, brands fail when they fake authenticity. You can't sell to women you don't respect. Remember that. It went viral. 50,000 views in 24 hours. Comments flooded in from marketing professionals, small business owners, and frustrated employees. Someone tagged Hartman and Associates. The post reached the client. And suddenly, the client wanted to know, who is La Madre Fuerte? I watched it unfold from my corner desk. Silent. Invisible. If you've ever had an idea stolen or dismissed at work, comment invisible so I know you're here. Let's honor every woman who's been erased. They were searching for me, and they had no idea I was right in front of them. Richard called an emergency meeting. We need to pivot. The client wants real voices. Authentic content. We need to find influencers who actually connect with this demographic. Stephanie jumped in. What about that account La Madre Fuerte? She has the exact audience we need. I sat in the corner, taking notes. Richard nodded. Find her. Offer her a collaboration. We'll position ourselves as allies to working mothers. I almost laughed. Almost. Instead, I went home that night and posted, they'll try to use your voice when it's profitable, but they'll never pay you what you're worth. Build your own table. The account hit 100,000 followers. Brands started reaching out directly to me. Sponsorships, partnerships, paid collaborations, money I'd never dreamed of, all while sitting at my $15 an hour desk job. I was becoming powerful, and they still had no idea it was me. I started arriving to work tired, dark circles under my eyes, yawning during meetings. Stephanie noticed. Late night, Maria? She asked, smirking. I smiled softly. Just taking care of my daughter. She nodded, satisfied with the answer. Of course. The struggling single mom. So predictable. But the truth? I'd been up until 3 a.m. negotiating a $15,000 sponsorship deal with a wellness brand. More than I made in 6 months at Hartman and Associates. I was exhausted, but I was also alive. For the first time in years, I felt like I mattered. They saw exhaustion, I saw evolution. One morning, Richard approached my desk. Maria, we need your help. I looked up, surprised. He rarely spoke to me directly. We're trying to reach out to this influencer, La Madre Fuerte. She's not responding to our emails. You single quotes go with people. Can you try? I blinked. He wanted me to contact myself. I kept my face neutral. I'll see what I can do. That night, I sent Hartman and Associates a response from my La Madre Fuerte account. Thank you for your interest. However, I only partner with brands that respect working mothers, not companies that exploit them. Richard was furious. I rejected them. From the shadows. And it felt like justice. It was a Friday when everything shifted. The client officially pulled their contract. Hartman and Associates lost $2 million. Richard called an all-staff meeting. He was sweating, frantic. We need new ideas, fresh perspectives. If anyone has input anything, now's the time. I raised my hand. Stephanie rolled her eyes. But Richard, desperate, nodded. Go ahead. I stood. You need to stop pretending you understand your audience. Stop hiring people who look like your audience and start actually listening to them. Hire real voices. Not performative diversity. The room was silent. Then Stephanie laughed. With all due respect, Maria, this is a conversation for people who understand marketing. I met her eyes. I understand it better than you think. And I walked out. I was done being invisible. That night, I made a decision. I filmed a video, face visible for the first time. My name is Maria Delgado. I work as an administrative assistant at a marketing firm. They laugh at my ideas. They dismiss my voice. But for the past 6 months, I've built a platform of 150,000 followers. I've earned more in sponsorships than my salary. And I did it all while they treated me like I was nothing. I posted it. And the internet exploded. By Monday morning, the video had 2 million views. News outlets picked it up. Marketing firm employee exposes workplace discrimination. The invisible woman who built an empire. I walked into Hartman and Associates at 8 a.m., every head turned. Richard's office door was closed. Stephanie avoided my eyes. HR called me in at 9. They finally saw me. And they were terrified. The HR director, Carol, sat across from me. Maria, we're aware of your recent online activity. I nodded. We want to discuss how we can support you moving forward. I smiled. I'm resigning. Her face fell. We'd like to offer you a promotion. A role in marketing. A significant raise. I shook my head. You're offering me value now because I'm visible. But I was always valuable. You just couldn't see it. I stood. I'm building something you'll never control. And I left. I walked out of that building a free woman. Within 3 months, I launched my own consulting business. Laundrofork Media, helping small brands authentically connect with working mothers. My first client? The skincare company that left Hartman and Associates. They paid me $50,000. I hired 3 other women. All mothers. All underestimated. We worked from home, we set our own hours, and we thrived. I built the table they wouldn't let me sit at. 6 months later, Hartman and Associates closed. I saw the headline online. I felt nothing. Not joy, not sadness, just quiet certainty. They laughed at me, and I outlasted them. Today, Sophia is 8. She asks me what I do. I tell her, I help women find their voices. She smiles, like a superhero. I kiss her forehead. Exactly like that. Because the truth is, every woman who's been dismissed, ignored, underestimated, she's a superhero waiting to rise, and I'm here to remind her. They laughed at me in the daylight, but I built my empire in the dark. And when the sun finally rose, they couldn't ignore me anymore. If this story touched you, if you've ever been the invisible one, leave a like and subscribe to this channel. Because here we honor every woman who refused to stay silent.